Hey, Kwiin. Also, hey, Kanna. This is... What am I looking at? Am I really looking... This is real? Huh. Hey, Kwiin, this is Blue04. I wanted to come back and play your stage for the new OLDC and just see what's going on. Yeah, and I don't really have a sense of where your work and Kanna's work splits, and so I feel like I don't know if I'm necessarily going to have that same kind of... I shriek a lot. I don't know if I'm going to have that same sense of personalized, like, this was your part, this wasn't your part, like we had that discussion for last stage. There. Okay, that's how that's supposed to work. I feel like there's a lot going on, but a little bit going on. My feeling is that there's only one path, but the one path is kind of very detailed. I feel like there's a lot of objects here. This lava is very bright. Oh, it's worth saying I have infinite lives because of my HUD script, so I'm actually not too worried about dying. It's part of the reason I jumped into that Eggman monitor at the beginning. Oh! Hidden! Okay, and then the leaves are just transparent. Got it. Okay. Okay, and I guess I was... my thought here is that maybe it might be better to make the webs of this grill net. I'm not sure what the good word for it would be, but it might be good to make the gaps in this a little bit smaller and make the actual metal a little wider, because when I was looking over here, I guess I didn't get that this was solid floor. Path split. Okay, interior zone. Probably gonna have to be done with reviews after this one, because I'm just like 3 reviews in the space of an hour is like kind of a lot. Yeah, 3 reviews in an hour is the space of a lot. I don't feel like I can marathon these. Double rip. Double rip. Triple rip! Oh. I'm going for a ride. Wow. Okay, let me take a look at the skybox for a second. Okay, so your skybox isn't super detailed, which is fine. I don't know why I'm getting that Moire effect. So I'm getting this Moire effect at like 1080p, right? I think that's probably the average of like what people are going to be playing on. And so let me hop over to Knuckles for a bit. Yeah, so my feeling is that like you're working with this like dithered pattern, and I think it like dithering in SRB2 just looks bad from a distance is my feeling. Because I feel like you're gonna have to guarantee that people are looking at your dithering from either a pixel perfect resolution or closer. Because I feel like, and I'm totally expecting YouTube to just smear the heck out of this once it actually gets uploaded. But I feel like once you get farther away, it just dithering turns into a Moire effect. And it turns into the Moire effect really faster than any other kind of like texturing, right? Because Green Flower, if you go and you play like Meadow Match or something, it's like eventually you get Moire from GFZ Rock, but it takes a while, right? But I just feel like for this texturing here, I don't feel like dithering really works in SRB2. And partly that sucks to say because SRB2's palette is kind of limited in a way that's kind of frustrating. And so it's like, how do you get those half steps? I would like dither on skies and that's about it. I wouldn't dither on any actual asset textures. Or on any actual in-stage assets, like textures of enemies and sprites and things. Like, I mean, yeah. And I feel like honestly, I feel like I'm not giving great criticism here because I feel like I maybe just need a nap. Maybe I just need a nap. Maybe I just need a nap. I mean, so my feeling is, right, so you've got these cool custom textures, and they're still cool. I mean, they were cool last time, too. I feel like the strong red and the cool blue, I feel like, do have a really interesting contrast. So in some ways, I feel like the stage is modal in terms of you're either doing blue or you're doing red. I think maybe a mixture between red moments and blue moments might be cool. So that, like, I died. I just died. Because I feel like maybe I need to go play the beginning of the stage again. And maybe this is, again, maybe this is, you know, one of those Kwiin Kanna splits where it's like you guys kind of just like graft things together and you work on them separately. Which like if this whole separation between halves becomes like a trademark of like your designs on your collaborations, like I'm gonna call that a weakness. And like I really do think that these two languages that you've built, they need to start talking to each other. And again, I need to go play the beginning of the stage again because I feel like you did that in the beginning of the stage. But I feel like right now, I feel like it's just I'm either playing the Kwiin part or the Kanna part. And from my discussions with you for your last stage, oh, kind of wish I had multi-ability there. But my feeling is if our discussions from your last stage, Metallic Madness, was, you know, if that was representative, then I feel like my expectation is that Kwiin, your parts are the green, the blue and the green stuff, and then Kanna stuff is the red stuff. And I like that's, and I feel like if I'm just gonna leave my criticism at that, I'm not actually telling you what either of you can do to get better at mapping. Right, and I feel like, and maybe this is just because I'm me, right? I have these very specific design preferences, but I feel like when you have architectural language and natural language integrated and there's kind of a dialogue between them, I feel like that makes it really, not the right stage. Sphere, if you're watching this, I love the hub world. It's so much more memorable. You did good. I like this hub world so much better than the last one. The last one was pretty, but it was hard to use. Okay. I probably need to put that in a place that's easier to read. Or easier for Sphere to bump into. What, again, I just did that. So, right, so one of the things that's happening here is, and let me go climb over here. So you've got this, like, so you've got that architectural element, which is, so you've got the building, and the building has this, like, it's not really an overhang, and outcropping probably isn't the right word either, but the architectural language extends into the natural language in a way that, where it feels like they're talking to each other, and I feel like that dialogue and that discussion between the two systems here, I feel like is totally lacking in the rest of the level. And like, I feel like this whole marking the spring block using the red texture, this is great. This is, I just yelled at Krabs about this. It's like, this makes it really easy to see and really easy for me to look at and say, oh, this is something I need to pay attention to. I mean, this is a little bit weird to have this required as a mandatory step in the path, but that's fine. Let me figure out if I just... Oh, it is intangible from below. Got it. And I think I only actually took one path, so let me try taking the other. That's weird. What? What just happened? So it's... I don't... You should look into this. I just you should look into this. And again, having the red architectural elements that sort of step into the stage here, I think is way more... It's good. It's just good. Now, one of the other things I'll say is that So one of my spatial archetypes, and I probably could make a list of these, right? But one of my spatial archetypes is basically having some kind of hard wall on one side and then having some kind of open relief on the other side, right? So you could think about this. This is one of the reasons I love... Die! This is one of the reasons I love beaches so much, right? And I feel like I've used a lot of beaches in my time. Derp. Dead. Because when you have a beach, right? Beaches are inherently directional. Come on! I just want to stand on you. Nope. I'm all the way back at the beginning. So, that's not gonna work. So beaches are inherently directional, right? So you have the ocean on one side and then you have the coast on the other. And that, so one of the things that's happening, and this was kind of something that happened in Krabs' stage. I kind of knew, okay, well, I'm in this section, and in this section, if I keep the land on my left, then I know I'm going forward. And so when I kind of know, and so it's one of those things where, because I'm standing in this section, I always know which direction to orient myself. So I'm coming in here. Okay, this is different, right? There's probably nothing up there. Oh, that's just, for the flamethrowers to come out from. Got it. And then I'm coming out here, and this is effectively the same space, like in terms of just like it's a pretty similar sense of scale. And it's also got the same kind of like, right? You have the coast and the ocean. Right, the land and the sea. And you don't, right, and this isn't a beach, but that's how I think about this kind of, this is not intangible from below. That's just how I think about this space, right? In terms of like, you've got the heavy and the open, and the open gives a relief for the heavy. And so, maybe I just spent too long here, but like basically this idea of the heavy and the open as being this sort of left-right split is something that's relatively continuous through the stage, and in some ways I think it hurts the memorability. I think this is great. I really like this room because you've got the big architectural area, and I think that mostly your building, your architectural places have been indoors, and I think having an outdoor architectural section I think is actually really refreshing. Okay. Again with the Eggman monitors. That's just weird. I'd never do that. It's not wrong. I just never do it myself. Okay. So I bet I've been here along the top before. I'm back at the beginning? Okay, so... And the reason I just reacted like that is because when I see this little outcropping, this makes me think of the entry to the building that happened earlier. My feeling is that this isn't fleshed out very much. So, and I know I've talked about foreground and background texture sets. I feel like you effectively do have a foreground and a background texture set where this is your background texture, and then the thing that I'm standing on is one of your foreground textures. This is a different foreground texture. I wish the background texture was a little bit of a different color, because I feel like you're working with basically the same color palette across your foreground and background textures, and these poly objects make me nervous. They've killed me before. Oh gosh, I need some water. Be right back. Okay. Yeah, because I feel like when I'm wanting to have some sense of like, so I have the green, right? And so basically I feel like I'm living in an ocean of, you know, blue and cyan and turquoise. And the green is sort of my point of purchase, where I can sort of start to understand the stage geometry at a glance. I feel like in terms of how I understand the stage quickly and how I break apart the elements quickly, I feel like the cyan on cyan doesn't help me parse the geometry very clearly in the way that the green of the grass does. And that's part of the reason why I really love the red architectural elements, because I feel like when you use the red architectural elements, that's very, very different than the blue and the green that you've already established. So I don't even know where I'm going. Am I going backwards? Am I going forwards? Feels like I'm going backwards. Feels like I'm going backwards. And gosh, some landmarks wouldn't hurt. I really need to make a video where I talk about landmarks before I start getting on everyone's case about them. Where am I going? So I get here, and then what do? Dead. Dead. Okay, well, I guess I'm just totally somewhere else now. I don't know. I mean, Kwiin, in a large way, I feel like your, well, one, I feel like your contributions to the wrong stage. So Kwiin, I feel like your contributions to this stage are a lot more substantial than Kanna's. Which is fine. But I feel like, you know, and it's one of those things where I feel like I'm just not sure what to say about the Kanna sections, partly because they're so small, and I feel like they're a relief to the rest of the stage. Like to some extent, Kwiin, I feel like just watching me move around your stage probably tells you more about the individual specific layout of elements than me trying to talk ever could. I guess my one thing is I feel like forward has not been very straightforward for me, and I feel like I want to go take a nap instead of trying to play the stage more to tell you why I don't understand what forward is for you. I just want to take a nap. Oh, this is cool. Why didn't I see this? Death. So yeah, I just I mean, my feeling with path design normally is... My feeling is that I tend to think of, I want forward to be this, like, clear, obvious thing, and then I want these, like, explorable bits around it, and I feel like your style of developing terrain, I feel like I don't have clarity about the elements that represent forward and the elements that represent the being off the beaten path. Which is maybe my entire problem with everything about the stage? I don't know. I tell you what, it's just Metal Sonic time. And like, I don't want to like make this video too long and like not say anything, but I feel like I still haven't given you any real criticism that gives you like insight. Maybe that's just because I need a nap. Like, if this is forward? Okay, so I'm supposed to take those platforms up over to here. Could I have some, like, rings in the air that, like, help signal this? Because I feel like I was looking for something to happen over in this general direction, because I felt like I wasn't expecting the stage to double back on itself. My feeling was that this was some kind of high route or some kind of alternate way in, not that that was forward. And so my expectation was I was just going to keep going, take these upward, and forward! And that didn't happen. So I felt like I was staring at a dead end. Great. Okay, I was gonna say something, and now I need to get back there. So I feel like this room is like all of my problems with the entire level. You see this platform? I want this platform to be a different color than this wall. Like I know the platform doesn't have any berries on it, but I want the platform to be a different color than the wall behind. You know, that's like my entire problem with like the texturing. Kwiin, your texturing design with this stage. This is my entire problem with it. Just give me a foreground color that's a different texture than the background color. And if it ends up being that the entire stage is made out of that red metal stuff because that's a different foreground color, great. You know, that works. But I feel like with this whole organic on organic stuff, it's like make the background stuff a different color. Give me some kind of contrast. So I don't know. I think that's all I really want to say for now. Again, hit me up on Discord if you have any questions, as usual. Later.